What's up? What's up? What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Talking a little bit more about a couple hot topics. I'm here with my girl Gina. What's up, Gina? How you doing?
Hey Jay, hey Chad.
Hey,
I'm doing
hey.
good, Jay. How about you?
I'm all right. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. We talk about a
Mhm.
few topics tonight. Couple basketball topics. It's kind of sad. It seemed this one guy that could have everything in front of him, John Morant, keep getting in trouble with guns, and now has gotten suspended for a second time. And then also the Sixers coach Doc Rivers got fired, which coaches get fired, but a lot of people say he's so great, and I don't think he that good of a coach to begin with. So I'll mention that a little bit, and then got some more stuff to talk about as well. So we get into that also. But we started off with this John Morant, and now we see that he's been suspended. What do you think about him on Instagram with these guns and things? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that is foolish and it sends out a bad message to the young kids that are watching him, to even older people, to everybody. Like the state that the world is in at this moment with the stuff that's going on with guns, and we turning on the news or we going on social media and seeing all of these catastrophes that are happening. I feel like he's irresponsible to brandish a gun on live. And
Right.
this is the second time. Like, he was just suspended in March for being in a club with the gun. So now you riding around in the car with the gun. And not everybody knows him, as a basketball player, whatever. You're in the car with the gun. You could have been pulled over. Anything could have happened. He could have got hurt. The people in the car with him could have got hurt. It's just foolish
Hmm.
to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about it like that. But that is a good point. And he been having a lot of other run-ins as well, that I'll try to get to. I had this stuff ready to go, and now it's frozen for some reason. All right. Well, anyway, it's another thing though. Why is it that it seems that basketball players want to be like rappers and rappers want to be like basketball players? It kind of remind me a little bit of like Iverson was one of the first like star players that kind of had behavior that was deemed questionable, but it was no social media. So if it was stories of him with guns, it wasn't so obvious and on video. It's crazy that this guy,
Hmm.
yeah, is like got the talent and could be on that same level if he stayed out of trouble, as far as the face of the NBA. With you got players like LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant getting older and aging out. All of them are like 35 and older.
Hmm.
So, it's about who's next. And this is what he choosing to do. And not only is it costing him a lot of money, because he wasn't named to an all NBA team, that cost him $40 million this year alone. Exactly. And then this is the second time suspended, but the third time, I believe, has been some type of gun situation, because they said some of his entourage got into it with some Pacers players or something when they were in Indianapolis last year, and the Pacers players said a red beam was shined through their bus by SUV.
Wow.
Yeah, SUV that drove by shined a red beam into their bus, and they said it was a SUV John Morant was in, but they was never able to prove
Mm.
anything. And so then all this other stuff with the guns comes up, and then he beat up a teenage basketball player at his house.
Right.
Yeah, supposedly he fouled Ja too hard or something, and he punched the kid in the face. The kid threw a ball or punched him back or something, and he made him leave. And the kid came back or something. He pulled a gun on the kid or something. Allegedly, this is how it all happened. Allegedly, and then when the kid, he after that gun incident, he said he'll come back and burn his house down or something to that effect. And so
Oh,
they got a whole lot going on with that, and it's a court case and all kind of stuff. So um, whole lot of unnecessarily putting itself in drama.
right. Yeah, me personally, I don't understand it. I'm a parent. I have like this kid is in like he could be my kid, like the same age range as my kid. My daughter's gonna be 21 in August.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I look at it and I look at him, I'm like, he's just being so dumb. That's the only thing that you could pretty much say. Like he's being stupid in the moment
Right.
because he's talented. Like I've heard good things about him as far as him being on the court and playing. He's very talented. So
Yeah,
why are
he
you
had
picking
them
this
number
route to
one.
go?
Yeah, I
Right.
mean
It's
he
like,
had them number one this year.
and I'm not like the Grizzlies is not my team, but I know about him. And I knew about him, before the controversy, before all of this, because that he was a damn good player. And he's
Mm-hmm.
in his prime pretty much. He's only 23 years old. Like LeBron
Just
is
getting
still playing.
started.
So who knows how far he could go in the league?
Yeah,
It's like, why would you want to go that route? I just don't understand it. And he
yeah.
has a child, like he's a parent as well. So you're not giving your daughter, a good role model to look up to. You're not giving the other kids a good role model to look up to. Like when you are an NBA player in the entertainment industry, that's what you sign up for pretty much. These kids look up to you. They say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, this person is doing good and everything, and I love them as a basketball player. I want to be like that. You
Right.
want little Joey to be sitting up there like, oh, let me go get a 45. No, it's
And
dumb to me. I just feel like it's stupid.
mm-hmm. And it's crazy when you say that because it's 20, maybe 20, 30 years ago, if somebody would have said you're influenced by that stuff or look up to that, I would have said, no, we don't, or this or that. But you don't really
Mm-hmm.
know you do. You subconsciously do. And I can look
Right.
back now and see and realize things I was influenced by and seeing things other people was influenced by. For
Mm-hmm.
example, Dennis Rodman had all kind of tattoos and
Oh
hair,
yeah.
but nobody started doing that. Nobody started getting
Mm-hmm.
tats. Iverson with the braids and tats. Everybody in the NBA, all type of people now got tats and braids and stuff now. And you can look back into that was the change right then,
Mm-hmm.
and how he used to dress wearing the jerseys and the chains and all of that, and they had to try to change the image. David Stern, he saw where it was
Right.
going, it would have really been bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they, I don't know, he definitely is just making a huge mistake. Von
Yeah.
Joyner said Victor Wembanyama, go Spurs go. That guy's like 7'6" and can run, jump, shoot threes. Like he might be
Okay.
the most unique player ever at that
Mm.
height. I think he's 7'6". How tall is
Oh yeah, I
Victor?
just I
Yeah,
saw some stuff about him too. Yeah.
he gonna be the number one pick this year, man. They saying he could be the something else. But the thing with those big guys is they knees and legs and stuff don't normally
Mm-hmm.
last long. So we'll see. You know. Um, Mark Guy said it's dumb. You got everything going for him. Now he's blowing it, doing what he's loved, and he's blowing it. And you got to put in a lot of work to make it to a pro level athlete. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of work, a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
One thing that you had brought up when you were saying as a parent, and he got a kid, but then here's the problem. I think is that his father is not trying to be a parent. He's trying to be one of his friends, allegedly.
I've
I don't
heard
know.
that.
Yeah. What do
I
you
heard
think
that
about
too.
that?
I heard that too. I'm hearing that like he's trying to be a part of the crew pretty much. Like he's hanging out. He's not parenting. It's like your first thought should be your kid. This is your kid. The well-being of your kid is what matters the most. So regardless if he was an NBA player, if he was just a regular 23-year-old working at Target, you're supposed to guide him because you're his parent.
But maybe
It's
he
just I don't
afraid that
understand.
he might not listen. You know, these kids today won't listen, or may now that he's so rich, may even cut him off, and they may not talk. I don't know how he could balance
Mm.
it better, but what do you think when your child is now super rich and can buy you out or pay to not have you around?
Yeah, I mean that is like a catch-22 pretty much because you want to parent and then you want to be like cool pretty much. You don't want them to turn around and be like, "Oh, I'm leaving and I'm going on and doing my own thing." But still at the end of the day, the route that he's going, we all see that is not good for him. Like I don't understand. And you're his father. Like you supposed to
Mhm.
step up and be like, "Look, this is not the route that you should be going. Look at your daughter. Look at the other kids that you influencing. Come on now, like you need to get it together." Like I just don't think that the route that he's going is going to be good for him.
Right.
He needs to straighten up. My grandmother used to always say, "You straighten up and fly right," and that's what he needs to do.
Right. That's that old school right there, dropping the lyrics. Um,
Hmm.
Now, one player that and Miss Savannah say you looking like you 21 still yourself, forever 21.
Thank you, Miss Savannah.
You know that black don't crack. Um, in Indianapolis, and he played in a couple other spots. But Steven Jackson was a good player. He was part of that brawl when the Pacers and the Detroit Pistons played. It was him and Ron Artest was one of the main
Mm.
ones throwing blows.
Oh
And
yes, I remember Ron Artest.
yeah, and then while Steven Jackson was here at the Pacers, I remember because I was living here, he got into some type of altercation at a strip club and he bust some shots in the air. Somebody punched him in
Hmm.
the face or something, and he got into some type of altercation in the parking lot, and some other things with that. So he ain't one to have not lived and made mistakes and been through things. So he was one that was taken up for Ja at first. But now he's
Hmm.
saying that there's a moron move, and that's one thing. His name is Ja Morant. Is more like moron, ant, moron,
Hmm.
because is that a Morant, because this is an idiot move to do it twice. And he even says it's about not always what you do the first time, but what you do after. And so
Right.
he was just suspended, and not even what a few months later he back to doing it again. So he's saying nobody
It's
can
only
defend him.
2 months.
Yeah,
It's
that's
only two
crazy.
months. He got suspended in March. I think the thing with the kid happened in March as well. So that was two things that happened in March with
Hmm.
two guns, supposedly, because we didn't see anything from the kid, but we did see him in the club with the gun in March. And so
Right.
now it's just May. And you
See
doing
this
the same thing?
See, this is the thing I'm thinking too. Like, it's the music. So most of the music he probably listened to, everybody talking about gun this, shoot this, whatever. He got the money to buy the gun, so it's not the hurdle of spending thousands of dollars because that's nothing. And in America, it's like you got to have a gun or this or that. They kind of make it seem. I don't know. I hate to say stuff like that because, like I would have said earlier, like I said earlier, 20 years ago or so, I wouldn't have thought people could be influenced by these things, but subconsciously you can be. And then
You
accidents,
definitely can.
yeah, accidents happen. So when you were saying about maybe somebody may not know who he is or whatever, I didn't think about that aspect, which is a good thing. But I was
Hmm.
thinking because those that may remember what happened with my family earlier, in the year, an accident can happen and the bullet can just easily discharge and just like that. Now, what if he was sitting there
Mhm.
like he's taking these pictures and he's doing this? And what if the gun went off and hit this dude?
Right.
Now he's
Mhm.
facing murder charges or accidental death and all of these things when you was just a star in the NBA. And now look what you're going through. You might be
Exactly.
playing for, CP4. So,
Mhm.
or shoot yourself, Plaxico Burris.
Right, because the way that he had it, I did see part of the video, and the way that he had it, it was close to him. It was
Mhm.
close to him, so anything could have happened. He
And
could have
they,
been out of here, God forbid.
yeah, they saying caught red-handed right here. They pointing to it with it in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, and why are you putting this on here like this? You don't need to be IG famous. You're NBA famous. You don't need
Exactly.
IG videos. You have
Mm-mm.
ESPN playing your stuff. You are
Right.
like, what are you doing? And so I don't understand. This is what they were showing on the last one on live with him doing this and pointing it at his
Mm-hmm.
head. I mean, he pointed, what if it go off and hit his body? Like you
Right.
got $1 billion body, literally. Like he's only, like you said, 22, 23. And
23.
23, and his contract, what he gonna get is gonna be almost 200 million, and he lost 40 million off of that. So, and
Mm.
that's only for 5 years, 4 or 5 years. So he could have got 2 or 3 more of those. So he could
Right.
have made, because salaries keep going up. So 10 years from now, they could be making 50, 60 million a year as the top player. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry making 40, 50 right now almost. So
Right.
that's crazy. Hell, by the time he in his 15th year, if he take care of himself, he could be getting paid 100 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you doing. What, like, you don't need a gun. You could hire security. Like, I would be flexing with security guards behind me with guns, and I'd be standing around like, yeah, y'all hold your own
Mm-hmm.
guns, not me. I got professionals.
Right.
That's a flex.
And I just think it's irresponsible of him because he came out, he did the whole apology thing, and he was like, I'm deeply sorry. And, we was thinking that it wouldn't happen again. Like he would not be caught out there like that again. And then 2 months later, you doing it again. It's just like, dude, not everybody gets a second chance. There
Mm-hmm.
are people that wish that they could get a second chance, and you got one. When I did see, there was a lot of people that was defending him, like, oh, he's a young kid. The first time around, they were like, oh, he's a young kid, give him a break. And then there was some people like, no, give him a hard, tough love and everything because he's not gonna change. And now we see
Mm-hmm.
maybe he should have got a stricter punishment the first time around.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just insane that he's trying to be Instagram famous, and why not being an NBA star is not enough, or the money and all of the things he has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's sometimes can be deeper than that. It may be some other things, I don't know, that he feel he need to do or show. I don't know him that well. And the
Right.
only news that I have really heard about him has been this stuff lately. Before then, he was
Mm-hmm.
kind of quiet from what I knew.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So,
But like you said, the music can be influenced. Like, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. When King Von passed away, he was another one that was into a lot of things. I
mm,
didn't listen to his music. But when he passed away, I was like, well, let me go listen to his music. I'm telling you, I put it on. I would go to work. It made me angry. Like, it just made me mad. Like, I wanted to fight. Like, you looking at me sideways? Like,
and that's
because his
drill
music was
music.
just like, oh, it was drill music, and I was just looking like, I can't listen to this. Like, I can't
What?
listen to this. I cannot have this in my psyche. Like it was too
And they
much.
probably bumping that type of stuff hard in the cars with
And
thousands
he
of
left
dollars
behind three
sound system.
babies. Well, he left behind two kids, and his one of the girls that he was with was pregnant at the time that he died. So
Mm.
they were like, go stream his music so that the babies, they could get the money and everything. And I was like, well, I'll go listen to his music because I wasn't too familiar with him. I'm telling you, I put that on and I was just like, ooh, no, this got
Mm.
to come out of my phone. I can't do it.
I haven't
It made
heard
me
the
angry.
music. Yeah, I never heard of him until he died, and then I started hearing about allegedly that stuff was real. Some of the stuff he
Yeah.
was saying and things. So, but I never
Mm-hmm.
heard it. That's interesting that you say that. Mark Guy got a comment that I would hate to say this, but I think these younger guys would say it's corny. But I would think it's an excellent idea, and all the greats did it. And Mark Guy says you need to get a role model like Shaq or someone to look up to, a leader off the court. You got to separate yourself from the old way. Just because you got money don't mean you can do what you want. I mean, he could look to talking to LeBron. LeBron would have talked to him, and he could have looked up to
Mm-hmm.
LeBron. Kobe talked to Mike when Mike was playing and Kobe was playing. He called him, and Mike talked to him. I would
Right.
call LeBron if I was John. You looking to be the next LeBron? I would call LeBron. I would call the KD. I would call the Steph Curry. I would talk to them, and that would be
Mm-hmm.
dope. He should be doing that, learning from them instead of hanging with nobodies that got
Right.
nothing to lose and everything to gain by being with him, and he got everything to lose and nothing to gain being with them. Like I'd talk to LeBron
Right.
and be like, how'd you elevate your friends to each be their own man in their own world, which makes each
Mm-hmm.
one of you all better because you all now compliment each other, instead of being
Right.
with friends that bring me down all the time. So
Right. I feel like the friends that he have are not true friends because they wouldn't want him to go down this road that he's going down. It's
mhm.
like from what I know, like from what I hear, he wasn't a kid from the hood or nothing like that. So why you trying to portray that? Like what this is your life. Like this is not a TV show. We talk about Tariq and Power and how he had a good life and then he wanted to go to the streets. It's like this is your life.
Right,
Your father, like what's wrong with you? You need to get it together. Like this, you don't get no do-overs.
right. That's like if
Because
Michael
once
Rainey tried to be a drug dealer for real. We'd be like, what are you doing?
mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, he's trying to carry guns and stuff and be a what? Gangster? The G I mean, what you proving? And I don't get it. In a way I
I don't get
kind
it
of do
either.
though. In a way I kind of do. And the way I say it is this. I don't know, man. With the way we kind of grow up as boys, I don't want to say it like that, but your toys got guns and
Oh,
vehicles got guns. All the movies you like to see, people getting shot or blown up, and guns and tanks and stuff. And we taught about this and that. And so, growing up, you kind of like guns and things. And, I could look at myself at that and see that I've always liked guns. And I would think, why would I always like guns? And I guess it's been there my whole life. And so
mm,
I didn't think about it like that. But, I don't know when I didn't know about a gun. Like some of my first
okay.
toys were soldiers and pew, pew.
The little
So,
green men, the little
yeah,
green toy soldiers. Okay, my
yeah.
mom did give my brothers that. Like my mom has three boys. She did give my mother those, but she didn't allow them to play with guns. Like she was like the only guns that we could get were like those big, unrealistic ones, the super soakers.
Yeah,
We
but them
couldn't
little
even
green
have like the
men.
little yellow and green water guns.
Right,
She wouldn't let us play with those, but we could get the super soakers.
right.
And
Yeah.
I remember my dad, he lives in South Carolina. So when we went down there, I took my son. He met my son for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, I got something for you." So I was on the phone with my mom. She was like, "Well, what is he giving him?" And I was like, oh, a gun? And she was like, oh, no, he can't have that.
Mm,
You don't put a gun in your grandson's hand. I don't care if it's a toy. You don't do that because that's going to condition him to think that that's what he needs to have in his hand.
I
So
so I'm gonna get to this
that's how she
comment.
was.
I'm gonna get to this comment for that girl, but I'll tell you one story. So growing up, I only knew one friend that couldn't have guns, or his parents was like that and wouldn't let him play with guns. And we used to laugh at him and make fun of him because all he could play with was He-Man, and we would have all the GI Joes and Transformers stuff like that, and he could only play with some He-Man or
Mhm.
whatever. So we'd laugh or whatever, and every time he go out, he couldn't wait to go and play with all our stuff. So it wasn't like it didn't
Mm.
work. It just made him want to go do. Now I'm not saying he out there shooting people today. He a good person, I believe, as far as I know. So, but we didn't go up shooting everybody either. So I don't know where
Mhm.
that balance or the change may come, because although I do like guns to a certain extent, I don't love guns, and I don't post on social media and do a lot of things. I have taken a picture, but it's for me. I don't put it out
Mhm.
there and show or be on video. And so I don't.
Right. See? See? Oh, did you realize that you was at 32? 32K? 32K?
Uh,
Okay. So you at 32K, you got your followers, you got people that come and enjoy your show and everything. What you look like standing up there with NBA YoungBoy playing in the background with the 4-5 and doing all of this on social media? That sends out
crazy.
the wrong message.
Yeah.
It just totally does.
Hmm. That girl said, Jai is young, rich, and wild. Hopefully an old head take him under their wings. Oh well, who you got in the Lakers Nuggets series? I got the Lakers. Jokic can't
Me
beat
too.
Anthony Davis, but they can't. The Lakers got to win one on the road. That's the key. Who if they don't win one on the road, they in trouble. Thanks for that super chat, that girl. Uh,
Hey, that girl.
uh, all right. Uh, Going on from John Morant. Real quick about Doc Rivers. What's up, young Slim? Um, Doc Rivers, coach that got fired. A lot of people say he one of the greats as far as coaching. I don't think so. I never thought that. I mean, the only time he won the championship is when Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen got together, that big three, and they was
Oh yeah,
together.
that was a good scene.
Yeah, exactly. And that's his own, and that ever since then, he's had two or three star players for every team he's coached since then, and he's only went to that one championship. Well, only
Mm.
won that one championship. He went twice with that Boston group. They lost to Kobe and they beat Kobe. They beat Kobe when they won, and then they lost to Kobe when they went back. That was Kobe's
Mm-hmm.
second championship without Shaq. So that show how long ago that was since he
Yeah.
was winning, and so now he was with the Clippers. He had Chris Paul break. I call him break because he was always broken, hurt. But Blake Griffin, and then you can say DeAndre Jordan was a half of a star player. He could have been all star material, good player, and other stuff they had, but they never made it past the second round. Now he in
Mm.
Philadelphia with Joel Embiid, the MVP, and you got James Harden, who never show up in a big game in his whole career. So that wasn't a surprise. I wouldn't even wanted him. Um, but
Mm.
so now you got those two out by the Celtics. I mean, that I just and now he's fired, and a lot of people are saying, well, he shouldn't have been fired. Maybe I think
Mm.
he been overpaid and should have been fired and not had another opportunity when his coaches like Mark
Mhm.
Jackson, who started the Warriors on their winning streak, got fired before he could win the championship. The very next year after he got fired, they gave it to Steve Kerr, and then he been winning ever since. So, and he never got a chance, never got another job or anything. So, it's a lot of other things that go into it. I know you ain't all into the coaching stuff too much, but I don't know. I just think
Well,
what you think about that,
I
Elise?
just feel like if the team is not doing good, it may be time for somebody else to come in and see what they could do with the team.
Mm-hmm.
If he's had chance after chance and he didn't do nothing with it, maybe
Yeah.
somebody else needs to step up and come in and see what they could do.
These players only have but so long to play, and then it's pretty much over with. So you can't have them wasting
Yeah,
their
I
time.
feel like they shouldn't, keep him on if things are not working out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's time to give it up and pass the baton.
For real. And I think he should go into like TV or something. You didn't have enough.
Okay, yeah, you can do them sports shows.
Right. So definitely move on. All right. On another topic, right quick, switching it up a little bit. So Jada Pinkett had a new TV show that came
Okay.
out called Queen Cleopatra. I wasn't too familiar with it. But they say it's the lowest rated show in the history of Rotten Tomatoes and Netflix.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they saying that a lot of people are upset because they made Cleopatra black instead of Mediterranean. They tried to make her like a girl
Oh.
boss, so to speak.
Mm.
I haven't seen it, but do you think it's kind of too soon for her to make a comeback into the spotlight with her reputation and Will Smith's? So her reputation may be more damaged than his, or are they equal, or what?
I know Red Table Talk got canceled. I know, but that wasn't the only show. Like people kind of made a big deal that Red
They
Table Talk
canceled.
got canceled, but that
Yeah,
wasn't
they canceled
that
Facebook
wasn't the only
Live.
one. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so everything is gone. Yeah.
Everything is going. So I felt like, oh, they're trying to give Jada, a bad look. But I haven't seen the show. I did see the trailer for it or whatever. When I got time, I was gonna check it out. But certain people, when movies are made, certain people they do get in an uproar when they feel like certain characters shouldn't look the way that they're being portrayed on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's crazy. Like, it's always something like nobody can be black. Like, The Little Mermaid is coming out on the 26th. Go see that. Miss
But
Halle
those
Berry.
are fake people, though. Those are fake. What
Right.
about real things?
Well, with real people too, they do like it's just regardless. Like they just gonna be in an uproar.
I didn't
They just
like that they did Hamilton with Puerto Ricans and blacks.
okay.
It kind of makes those people not seem the way they really was.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of make them look cool in a way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, well, Alexander Hamilton, this and that. Well, I don't know. I just think just have it how it is, with
Right.
those real people. Because then, what if they made George Washington black and could rap?
Yeah, that would
Now,
be.
yeah, what's up? So I
Yeah.
don't know about that. Fake people and fake
But I
stuff.
feel these days they try to be all about inclusion these days. Like sometimes it doesn't come across well because people are going to be mad about it. And I agree with you too. Like certain things should be left. You know, it is real. Like it should be left. I'm a black woman. I wouldn't want years down the line for somebody to be like, oh well, Gina was a white woman. I'm not.
Right.
I'm a black
Yeah.
woman, and I should stay a
Right.
black woman. So
Yeah.
I can understand that. Yeah.
I mean, I even kind of feel a little bit about changing like a history around. For example, Tarantino made that movie Inglorious Bastards where they kill Hitler in the movie. I was like, when I first saw it, like, man, what is this? This ain't what happened. And so,
Right.
yeah, it coulda, woulda, shoulda, I guess, type scenario. But then, what if somebody see it and don't know and think something else?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Certain things, if you, I mean, I guess he didn't present it as supposed to be accurate, but certain things people can change up and lose the meaning sometimes. I mean, he died anyway, so I guess it didn't matter. Just how in a way, but okay. What's up, Miss Jocelyn? She say, I'm so glad you brought back Sports Tuesday. James Harden been showing up, but he never did when he played in Houston. I'm taking the Celtics for championship since the Warriors are out. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jocelyn.
it'll be Lakers versus Celtics again. And that's gonna be good because Jason Tatum is like the young LeBron, it seems right now, against the old LeBron. We'll see how it go. But yeah, so yeah, but James Harden, man, he ain't never made it past what, the second round of the playoffs in Houston or with any team other than the Thunder. So yeah, and that was only in his first 2 or 3 years. The NBA, he been in the NBA
And
15
James been
years.
around for a while. I know that.
Yeah, 15
He
years.
been around for a while.
So yeah, that was when he was young. So 2011, I believe. So 12 years ago. Yeah. What's up, Bap? How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, yes. Anthony Williams said, look up the Lachelle Jordan case, Jay. It's strange. You heard about that, Gina?
No. I'm going to look it up.
I heard of that. I'm going to have to check into that. Let's see. Hey, what's up? What's up on Facebook? Mom, how you doing? Young Slim. Doc didn't deserve to get fired. Yeah, he does. He can't win with the MVP against the Celtics, and he's the leading scorer, and you can only score, what, 15 points with Embiid, and Doc Rivers has no way to get creative in the playoffs. That's why he always gets exposed in the playoffs. He doesn't have any creativity. He runs the same stuff, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, if he couldn't do it with Chris Paul, even though Chris Paul get hurt all the time in the playoffs, so I think it's time for him to go to TV as well, or State Farm.
Oh goodness.
Because yeah, it's about over with. He need Medicaid, Medicare as much as he hurt. So anyway, what's up, B? Bab say you looking beautiful.
Thank you.
That's good. James, Jocelyn said James got a hold of that Khloe Kardashian thing and been cursed ever since. That is kind of a coincidence, I guess, huh? Ever since he started messing with them in Houston, he ain't been the same. He started getting fat and partying and not playing as hard. He went from MVP to he didn't been on 3 teams. And what,
Mm.
three years in a row, 4 years, three teams in 4 years. So
Wow.
yeah, it went from Houston to Brooklyn to now he on the Philadelphia 76ers. And that all happened in the last 3 years.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when he was out in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest disappointment in recent sports history. With Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving on the same team in their prime. I mean, they didn't
I
play
mean,
many
yeah.
games together, but they only lost like I think 3 or 5 games when they played together. Just wasn't
Mm.
that many they played. I think there was like only 25 games or something. But in
Wow.
2 years, none of them can stay healthy at the same time. But now they all three
Yeah,
of
I
them.
remember that was a big deal. That was a big deal when they all was together. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
hearing that. Like everybody was excited, and then it was like, oh, what is this?
I know, right? I can't believe they couldn't even put one season together. Um,
Hmm.
that's just insane. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Young Slim say I saw NBA players missing open shots. You saying they did it on purpose? I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I will say the first time I went to an NBA game and I was watching, I had some really good seats and I was with my friend and we was like really close watching and they taking shots and was missing and I was getting mad. Now I was like I was a freshman in high school. This is our freshman year. But I was getting mad, like, man, what the like how did they miss that, man? They not miss my friend played ball more than I did, and way more than I. But he was like, "Dude, they don't make everything." I'm like, "That way, this is the pros. He was that close. Like, how did he miss that? That's like the video game." He like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "Wow." So it is.
He was having a Jack Nicholson moment.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't
Remember, he used
believe
to get so mad.
it. Yeah, I don't know if he still go to Lakers games. I ain't seen heard about him in a
I
minute.
haven't seen him, but
I
I know
ain't.
back in the day he used to be sitting in that crowd turning red.
Yeah, because when you watching it on TV, I guess it's not as noticeable. Like you notice when people don't make it, but I
Hmm.
felt when I was watching it in person, each miss more. Like it seemed different when I was looking in person. Like, how did he miss that?
Hmm.
Like I'm telling him, I could have made that. He like, no, you couldn't. I'm like, yeah. So, so it doesn't seem right, in person.
Right.
But after that
Hmm.
experience, I started looking at it differently. Um, but I was so mad. I was really mad. Like, man, what the? I thought they was doing it on purpose. Like, I'm like, why are
Oh.
they doing that? He like, dude, what's wrong with you? So I was like, man, I can't believe this. So
Wow.
if you felt watching it in person, they were missing open shots and stuff as if it didn't seem right. I felt that way once. So I can
Mm.
relate. But it's the same thing. Just when you looking at it in person, it feels different. They
Right.
missing the same shots they always miss. Nobody perfect. So
Hmm.
yeah. Mark God say the Lakers got to do better. The Lakers wasn't trying to go and win game one in Denver, and you could barely breathe in the altitude and all of that. You know,
Goodness.
they down 11 points with 6 minutes to go. They just trying to stay competitive and
Mm.
learn what they can off of what they trying to do. They'll steal game two, and then that means they got game 3 and 4 at home. If they steal game two, you win game 3 and 4. Now you up 3-1, just like that.
Hmm.
Go back to Denver, you may lose the next one. Come back to LA, boom, seal the deal.
Right.
You heard it here. Well, we about to get up out of here. I start to bring back a little bit more on Tuesdays. So appreciate you coming through, Gina.
I'm always down, Jay.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
everybody, glad y'all came through. Thanks for the support. The super chat, Miss Jocelyn. Glad you happy is back. Sports, everybody, y'all like talking
Right.
sports and other hot topics and stuff. So we'll have a little bit more ready and do some things. So appreciate everybody for coming through, and we'll see how this Lakers play out with the Nuggets. I think it's gonna be 4-2 Lakers, so we'll see. That's my prediction.
Laker Nation.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, man. Y'all take it easy.